And there it is.
Looks like we're live.
Live to tape.
We are live.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Let's do this thing.
What are we doing?
This thing.
Oh, right, yeah. That
This thing that we do.
That thing.
This voodoo that we do so well.
Oh no, did I
Doing
delete the
that
line that
thing
says
you
what
do.
You did. You
what
absolutely
episode
did.
it is?
Next time I have to host, I'm not going to have a clue how to start the show.
Oh my goodness.
Good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 912 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Yellow.
How's it going?
It's been a hell of a week. I don't mind telling you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Busy? Or
Well, I mean,
good
I turned
things?
48.
yeah,
So that was the
happy
thing that happened.
happy birthday.
Like a child.
Who could have seen that coming?
You got older.
Yeah, just one day I woke up and I was older.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. I know,
Ugh.
right? I mean, eventually it's going to stop, but I don't like to
Yeah,
think too hard
but-
about that.
I mean-
yeah.
But no, my son was injured this week
Oh,
playing
no.
playing lacrosse, which I happened to get on video. So there's lots of
Congratulations.
footage of me screaming like a madman. Yeah, he was.
Cool.
It was an illegal check. He's fine.
He's okay.
Fine. He's fine.
Okay. Okay.
But I didn't know that at the time. I
Of
didn't know
course.
if we were worried about a concussion. We were worried about a broken collarbone.
Oh.
Oh.
Basically, no concussion symptoms. Went to the hospital, got an X-ray for free, and
You know what? No. No. You know, this story's done. I'm glad your kid's okay, but no. We don't need that.
When the doctor came in and said there was no breaks, she said, like, so what happened? So, well, here, we actually have video. And
Oh.
showed it to her. And she basically said, like, if you were like 5 years older, this would be a break. But because you're
Ooh.
still so young and bendy, just kind of just jammed everything up. And
Hmm.
so anyway, yeah.
Wow.
It's, but like, I'm not, my kid is into a lot of sports. But he's in hockey, but he's a goalie. So there's not a lot of contact there.
Right.
So the only real contact sport he's in is lacrosse. And so this is kind of a new experience for me. And I didn't like it. I'll tell you what, I didn't
Sports
like it.
injury. Yeah.
I'll send
Not
you the
good.
video later. It's alarming.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
My
that
goodness.
was
Look forward to that.
that was most of my week.
I'm glad my kid's a
Oh.
nerd.
Me too.
I don't know where my kid gets it from. My oldest is a nerd. My oldest, all she wants to do is stay home, read books, and play video games.
You know,
was
I
like, there you go. I know you're my kid.
I
Yeah.
say that, but Finn is on the track team.
Ah,
Oh, track's not too bad.
He wanted to do track. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not like
Depending
a
on the
contact
sport.
sport.
contact sport.
Depending
right.
on the sport, it's the injuries are different.
Although he did muck up his ankle at the last track meet doing hurdles.
Ah,
Luckily at that age, they're like Wolverine. They just heal
Yeah.
and
bounce right back.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
to his first track meet
yeah.
and I was all excited, and then I was like, this isn't anything like Newman Athletics. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to any more of them.
I wouldn't know. I haven't played it, so
You're
Yeah.
done.
not going
done.
anymore. Sorry, son. This is-
Till you
There's
have
no versus
rock
all
hard
express.
express. I don't
shoes.
see where the excitement comes
Yeah.
from.
what kind of skill is involved in this?
Yeah.
You should have seen your old man.
You're
Did
not
you-
tossing missiles.
When he injured his foot on the hurdle, did you say that he kicked too quick?
And then laugh maniacally while he sat there with a confused look on his face,
Just like that.
You don't understand this because you haven't
Which I-
played the game.
which I feel
Trust
probably
me.
describes a lot of his life.
Trust me.
You laughing at something stupid that he doesn't understand.
CJ's gonna love this.
That's right. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
How's it going?
It's going all right. How are you?
I mean, I'm fine. My ankle's fine.
Yeah,
I don't run.
me neither.
No,
That sounds like too
He's-
much work.
he's fine. He's
Yeah.
fine.
That's good.
Yes,
That's good.
we can laugh about it because he's fine.
I feel like if
Everybody's
you
fine.
did run, your ankle wouldn't be fine.
Who, me personally?
Yeah, you personally.
Oh,
Mine
yeah,
definitely would
absolutely.
be.
No.
Yeah, just shatter on the first
Yeah.
step.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, here he is now.
Oh,
Hi, dude.
The bionic
We're
man.
we're recording our podcast now. You bet it is.
yes.
Okay.
Don't kick too quick, son.
No.
All right. Well, let's get into it. We want to kick off this episode actually talking about Cameron Davis,
Oh.
aka Gazunta, who is from Brisbane, Australia, and was one of the first people I talked to about video games on the internet
Same.
back in the day on IRC, the Internet Relay Chat, when that was a thing, the Vid Games channel, which a lot of people from the industry kind of came up through that channel.
A lot of Ziff people.
A lot of Ziff people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all over now, right? Like Microsoft, Nintendo, a
Sony.
lot of Sony, a lot of game
Oh,
companies
yeah. Absolutely.
have
A lot of
big games
companies in it.
alumni,
Yeah, indeed. And
including Chrome Studios down in Australia for quite a while.
Indeed. And Cameron was a part of Chrome Studios.
Yeah.
And also worked on Viva Pinata Party Animals for the Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
And Game Room.
Game
on the
Room.
Xbox 360. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and just a really super nice guy. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And you know, I had talked with him on IRC, and then he was at E3 one year, and there was a Vid Games meetup at E3, and met a lot of the people who were in that channel in real life, and Cameron was one of those people. And unfortunately, we lost Cameron this week. He had a heart attack about a week ago, I guess, and was on life support, and then passed on Thursday. So very sad news.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Cam was well, you described him really perfectly, CJ. He's just a big, very lovable guy. He was a guy that the first time you met, I mean, you know, he knew you online. He was an online friend because I met him on Vid Games as well. And but I mean, the first time you met him, I mean, he was boisterous, he was friendly. You get a big bear hug every time you saw him.
Oh yeah.
And just always smiling and always positive. And also want to call out that I know that when IRC kind of went down, and actually when I went to Ziff Davis, I definitely was not good at keeping up with everybody in that channel, but
Yeah.
they always kind of felt like family because we all supported each other and we all helped each other kind of get where we were going. And Cameron was a guy who tried really hard to kind of keep that group in contact somehow. And to the point that even if you went years without seeing him, the first time you saw him, it was like you hadn't stopped speaking at all. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Mhm.
it was just like you've been in contact constantly, and you still just is super friendly and yeah, and a super creative guy. He also was a comic book creator, had his own comic books that he published, I believe.
He did. He he had a few different comics that he was super dedicated to doing. He was publishing them as web comics. He did some Kickstarters to publish physical copies. I know he printed up just physical copies of his comics as well and sold them at comic book shops and things like that. And I mean, to the point where like he was hosting like classes on how to create your own comics and cartooning classes for kids in Australia and stuff. So just I mean, I didn't come from the Vid Games IRC, so I didn't meet him through that. I met him afterwards. And, we kind of, bonded over a shared love of the Commodore 64.
Yes.
And I know, he would listen to our show on occasion as well. And I think he liked me the best because I was the one of us who liked the Commodore 64.
For sure.
No, I'm obviously kidding. But yeah, just the nicest damn guy.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
He's helped me out multiple times on Generation 16, actually.
Oh, yeah?
When I was covering Amiga games, I need somebody who kind of lived this life.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him and he helped. And I mean, the other big thing too is the first Let's Read video that I did, and it was probably the first time I talked to him in a while, actually.
Yeah.
Was Pocket Gamer, I think it was, and he had done, I think it was, and he had done a top 100 list in there, and so I reached out to him, and again, probably the first time I'd spoken to him in years, and we basically got onto a call and chatted for like an hour, and by the end of it, he was talking about a website, a pocket gaming website he used to run. And he's like, let me just get you what I got, and he sent like entire archive files of like this from 30 years ago.
Wow.
He just I don't know, just a super nice guy, would help you. It didn't matter who you were.
Yeah.
He was just helpful. He just wanted to be nice and helpful and friendly, and he did think of everybody, especially in that Vid Games channel, as family. He said that multiple times in our conversation, and he still did right up until, I mean, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he will.
Anyway, huge shock.
Wonderful guy, and just devastating.
Yeah, completely.
And condolences to his wife Sab, who was also in Vid Games, and everybody else who loved him, which were a lot. There were a lot of people. I'll tell you, if any memorial service they have for him, I'm sure will be packed. But if geography wasn't an issue, I mean, you fill up Australia.
Absolutely.
The guy's heart was that big. So
yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Cameron Davis, good guy.
Yeah, great guy. Hard to follow that up, but there was some video game news that happened.
Well, you know what? He was a big Game Boy guy. So our first story.
Look at that.
Here we go.
Would be fitting.
Big story in the Game Boy realm. Yes. Finally, some classic Game Boy games, launch games that were not previously on NSO have come to NSO. That is Baseball, Alleyway, and Super Mario Land.
The biggest surprise was that they added these at all, but the big surprise for me was that Mario Land wasn't already on there. I just assumed it was there for some reason.
No, only Mario Land 2 was on there. And then, of course, Japan got one extra game.
Oh, of course.
The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, which is apparently some kind of precursor to Link's Awakening.
Greg is not aware of that game.
Not at all.
Yeah, apparently it is the precursor to Link's Awakening, developed by the same team. So, yeah, we did not get that. It never came to North America.
For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yes.
Yeah, never came to North America or released outside of Japan at all. So,
interesting.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get it at some point.
I was playing some Alleyway because I never played Alleyway.
Oh, really?
No. And I mean, I'm definitely gonna make a run through Mario Land. I love Mario Land.
It won't take you very long.
A great little game. No, it won't.
Good.
That's one of the best parts about it.
And very short.
I love Mario Land. It is such a great game. Obviously, the soundtrack is completely awesome.
Yeah.
But the level design and just the ideas present there.
The weirdness.
The weirdness.
Well, that's just it. It's another team's interpretation of what a Super Mario game was.
And I love that. I love that. I sort of wish that happened more.
Yeah.
And then they took more risks with Mario than they do. I guess Odyssey has a lot of experimentation in
well,
there.
I mean, but we're well on at this point. This was back when,
this is back
Mario
when
was still pretty young.
First being established. Yeah.
But I feel like
as Fireball, you have the Super Ball.
I feel like as North Americans, we were kind of primed for Mario to be in a non-traditional Mario game.
Yeah.
with Mario 2, right? So
I guess that's true. Yeah, we were no strangers to different Mario rules.
right.
Yeah, fantastic game. I've never played Alleyway or baseball, so
Oh,
I
gotta
played a
give
lot of
those a
baseball.
shot.
My buddy Evan, we both had Game Boys, and he had baseball.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So we didn't. I guess we didn't play Linked because of that, but we played a lot of baseball, just handing it off and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Alleyway's just kind of a Arkanoid clone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is basically Arkanoid, right? There's nothing
Yeah.
that really differentiates it.
Not really, no.
No.
It's just Arkanoid for Game Boy.
Via Nintendo.
Exactly.
But still playable on a D-pad,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those games aren't. So
Yes. Well, hey, we have a new Assassin's Creed. I know it's a shock. I know nobody was expecting this, but Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out November 15th, and it is going to be set in Japan, 16th century Japan, with some new characters here. What is it? Yosuke and Naoe are the two characters. Yasuke apparently based on a real person in Japanese history, so should be interesting. But of course, it's history through the Assassin's Creed lens, so exaggerated. No doubt.
is it? So I'm kind of curious because from watching that trailer, like it looks like the main. It looks like there's two main characters.
It does, yeah. And
it
that
looks-
is basically going to be what it is. Yeah, two main characters, Yasuke and Naoe.
And
And
yeah,
they have their own progression paths, skills, weapons, stats. So yeah, it'll be two main characters.
But one of them's a samurai from the looks of it, right? Do I think
I think
that's-
they're well, yeah.
Anyway, the reason
Yeah,
I'm bringing it up
Yasuke
is
is the
because I
samurai.
kind of feel like it's maybe that character might be loosely based on the same character that one of the people in Shogun is based on. I'm just
Possible.
looking it up. William Adams.
Possible. I'm not sure.
Anyway, yeah, that was the first thing when I watched the trailer. That was the first thing I thought, because I haven't watched all of Shogun yet, but I've been watching. I've watched a fair amount of it. And I read the book back in the day, and I know that it's it's about William Adams, or loosely based on him, who was an English navigator who became a samurai in Japan back in I don't know when. So I'm just curious if that's what they're using as the basis for this samurai looking character. And
I am not sure. That is not mentioned in any of the.
No, I mean, if it was mentioned, I'd know it.
Well, yeah.
I'm all out of focus. There we go. I'm back.
So, new Assassin's Creed set in Japan. I think I might actually jump into this one. I'm interested in the setting of it, and it looks kind of cool. So, it doesn't have pirates, but I'll still jump in. Yeah.
I love
November
that.
15th.
That's your measuring stick.
That's right. It is next gen, quote unquote, next gen only. This is the first Assassin's Creed to not support previous generation hardware.
Interesting.
So this will be PS5 and Xbox Series.
What a weird generation this is.
I know, right?
What a non-generation this is.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a very weird generation.
Yeah.
And of course, there will be multiple collector's editions.
Oh, of
We'll
course.
give you 3 days early access and such, and it tops out with a $129 digital Ultimate Edition.
Jesus.
That I don't know. This Red Dragon filter and photo mode is probably pretty good.
Oh my god.
That's one of the extras.
Is it a picture? What is it, like the same filter that King Charles used on his official portrait? I'm in Canada saying that, so I probably won't be here next week. But
yeah, well, you get the season pass and all that stuff. Oh, you get 5 skill points. By the way, let's just talk
5
about
skill points.
pre-order
Man.
bonuses that include skill points, and it's usually something like 5 or 10 skill points, whatever. And it doesn't
What's that save you, like an hour?
It's not a hill of beans. Like, it's just it's nothing in the grand scheme of things, because you're going to be collecting hundreds of skill points and assigning them to, especially with 2 characters, you get 5 skill points. You're going to assign all those to whatever character you start with in this game, right? And they'll be gone in no time.
Yeah.
I hate those as pre-order bonuses. You get 5 skill points. Yeah, great.
Ugh.
Oh, but anyway, let's talk about this. An announcement by Hamster, everybody's favorite arcade archives maker.
Mhm.
They are doing a new series called Arcade Archives 2 Neo Geo. Now, this is an evolution of the existing series of Neo Geo re-releases that they've done, but it adds some modes. It adds two new modes: time attack mode
Okay.
and network mode. So you can play games like King of Fighters, Puzzle Bobble, Samurai Showdown online.
Ah.
So this isn't like a new compilation or new releases. They're updated releases, right?
I don't think so. These are
I didn't
new.
quite get it when I read it.
From the announcement, I believe they are new releases, but you will get a discount on the purchase of ACA 2 Neo Geo versions if you have
Okay, so
the
they're
original.
They're updates, but they're not updates for existing. Like, they're re-releases, I guess.
Yes.
Updated re-releases of stuff, stuff that they've already released.
Yes. If you bought King of Fighters 98 already, your version's not going to be updated.
You could buy a new updated version at a
You can buy the PS5 or
you can buy a presumably discounted new release.
Got it.
Now, the Arcade Archive series, it was on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, so they've not done like native PS5 and Xbox Series releases. So that's what these are. So I imagine it's like a paid upgrade kind of thing.
Okay.
And then, of course, you can buy the PS5 or Xbox Series version if you want to.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice that it's not mandatory.
Not mandatory. No.
Okay.
Of course not.
That's
Who
good.
knows if they're pulling the PS4 version down.
Oh, they definitely will.
Maybe, I don't know. But
maybe not today.
Kind of interesting.
Maybe not tomorrow, but soon.
I would have preferred like a rewind function or something. I mean, the network mode, I'm never going to use that, right?
I don't want to be reminded how bad I am at these games.
Yeah.
I want to set everything on easy and play single player mode.
That's right.
So the new versions,
the
new versions are not coming to Switch.
No,
just PS5 and
Switch
Xbox.
doesn't have the power for Neo Geo games.
I guess not.
Yeah.
I mean, it does, but only for couch co-op.
Who does that? Who wants to play multiplayer with someone who's in the room with you?
We went all the way through the Sengoku series.
I know.
That way. It was fantastic.
It was.
Traveled all the way to Vegas to play through Sengoku with CJ. And then Sengoku 2.
We had a good time, though, didn't we?
No.
Yeah.
We had a time.
We had a great time.
Absolutely, we did.
Yeah.
Don't downplay that, Greg.
Speaking of a great time, Grand Theft Auto 6 is confirmed to be releasing in fall of 2025.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yes.
Excited.
So get ready.
Okay.
It's coming out in 2025. Yeah, I think it should be interesting. Although, is it going to be as wacky as the Like a Dragon series? Because that's really
no, of course not. Come on.
I mean, it is based in Florida. It's set in Florida, right?
Oh, well.
Could be wacky. Some of that
It's not going to be that wacky.
Some of that initial trailer was pretty wacky.
It's not going to be that wacky. Don't kid yourself.
It's not going to be as wacky as Like a Dragon.
Don't kid yourself.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And hey, Sony announced that instead of replacing Jim Ryan with one person, they're replacing him with two people.
They've cloned 2 Jim Ryans.
Herman Hulst and Hideaki Nishino will run Sony Interactive Entertainment. So,
Okay.
there you go. Herman Hulst taking the software side of things, Nishino taking the hardware end of the business. So, there you go. We'll see how that goes. Co-CEOs, how could that go wrong in any way?
I can think of lots of ways, but let's see how it goes.
If I've learned anything from watching The Office multiple times, it can't possibly go wrong when you have two people.
Are you excited
running.
about the Office spinoff?
Oh, yes, I am excited.
Really?
About the
Are you?
Office spinoff.
I didn't think you would be.
I am excited, but I mean, Parks and Rec is technically like the same concept, different.
It's not a spin-off though.
This isn't going to be a spin-off in the traditional way. This is
I guess more of a sequel, I guess. Or...
kind of. It's going to be in a local newspaper, right?
Didn't they?
I don't know.
Didn't they say that it is
It
technically in the same universe though?
It's in the same universe, yeah.
Because they want to get like Steve
multiverse
Carell
going.
on for.
I think
Sweep
he already said
Week.
he's not going to do it.
Well, we'll see when
see.
they pull the dump truck full of money up to his
Right.
house.
John Krasinski will do it.
Oh,
Creed
yeah.
will do it.
Creed will do it.
But yeah, I am excited about that. I'll watch it. Sure, why not?
I really actually couldn't care less. I just brought it up because I thought you two would crank about it. That's all. I
To
was more
me?
looking forward to you guys cranking about it.
Cranking what?
Just being irritated that it was even happening.
Does that sound like something I would know?
No, I was more talking about Phil. But
Okay, Phil.
Oh,
Yes.
I am not concerned.
Now, if you said they were rebooting the Great Space Coaster, I would be fucking pissed.
Oh,
How
could
dare
you imagine a
they?
CG.
How dare they?
Gnu? Just come on.
They can't do that.
No.
It has to be a puppet. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into what we've been playing.
Greg has no idea what the Great Space Coaster
No.
is.
No,
no,
it
No.
doesn't.
and I don't want to know, so don't bother explaining it.
So there was this show, syndicated kid show.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Anyway,
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Robotech?
let's talk about what we've been playing. I'll go first. I have been playing Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man
Host
who erased his
extraordinaire.
name. Yeah. I've been playing Like a Dragon Gaiden, and let me tell you, I was getting a little bored with Like a Dragon Gaiden, so I started Infinite Wealth.
oh no.
I was like, well, I'm just trying to get through this to get to Infinite Wealth anyway. Let me just start Infinite Wealth.
How
It's
far are
weird,
you in?
right? When you're an adult, you can just play whatever you want.
I mean, that's true.
So at the time, I was just at the beginning of chapter 3, I think,
Okay.
in Gaiden, and it was
Of
like
5.
a 5. Yeah,
Right.
It's kind of dragon right now. The plot,
I see. What
I
you
get
did
it.
there.
yeah, and
Well played.
I really want to play Infinite Wealth. I really want to see Ichiban again, and
You're getting impatient.
I'm getting impatient. It's true. So I started Infinite Wealth. I've only done like the first little bit of it.
Okay.
Not much at all. Enough to know where Ichiban is in life at that time.
Ah,
And then
yes.
Back to Like a Dragon Gaiden. And I'm on chapter 4 now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
getting towards the end here.
Well, I think when I was playing through Gaiden, I believe I mentioned
Mhm.
that the game did feel a little kind of like you're bouncing between a couple different areas, and yeah, you're not,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
I mean, it is by design a smaller
certainly.
game, but yeah, because you are in kind of two relatively limited environments,
Yeah.
you are kind of revisiting the same locations a lot and doing
Yeah, I had
kind of
just done a
similar
stretch.
things.
I had just done a stretch where I was going from Akame's hideout
Right.
to the guy who makes weapons for you.
Right.
And there's a stretch where you have to do that circuit like 4 times in a
Yeah,
row.
you
I'm
end up
like
kind of ping-ponging back and forth a lot.
ping pong and back and forth. And it's
Yeah.
like, this is just a little bit,
Right.
fetch questy for me.
Yes.
Let's go to something else for a bit and then come back to it. And
Right.
I got a little taste of the Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth battle system, which I love the turn-based stuff.
Yep.
Absolutely love it.
Yep.
But then I went back to Gaiden. I was like, you know what? I should finish this.
You're so close.
5 chapters.
You're so close.
It's 5 chapters, and now I'm on chapter 4. And I have it set to easy.
Right.
And then I also have the combat assistance on, where all you have to do is tap X, and it chooses combos and different moves for you. So
okay.
I'm not even doing any of that.
You have it on super easy mode.
I have it on super easy baby mode, and but it's still cool.
Oh,
and you don't have to do that. You can still do button combinations if you want.
Right.
Outside of that, which I have been doing, and of course dodging out of the way, it doesn't do that for you. Well, it does a little bit of that for you. But, but I'm having a huge amount of fun with it. I have been buying upgrades to Joryu's moveset.
Kiryu, I've never heard of this guy.
I've never heard of that guy.
You must be thinking of someone else.
That's the entire freaking game.
That does not let up, by the way.
Yeah.
Minor spoiler, but yeah, he does not.
They're still calling him Joryu. Everybody knows this is Kiryu.
Nobody believes it.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire game, everyone's just like,
he did the
Dragon of Dojima's here. And,
the Superman disguise thing. You put on glasses and you're a completely different person.
I'm afraid I don't know who you mean. I'm Joryu, just a humble street brawler going around town.
That's right. Yeah.
And
then I hit the point where you had to get the Akame network up to level 10 and win some Coliseum matches, which I don't think I'm gonna, unless I have to. I don't think I'm gonna do a whole lot of that because it's not particularly fun. It's kind of not what I'm coming to this game for. So, and certainly if Infinite Wealth was more of that, I don't think I would be interested in that. Although I'm sure there's plenty of combat in Infinite Wealth. It's just I like the turn-based stuff just a little bit better.
Yes.
So yeah, turned on Infinite Wealth, played a little bit of it, earned like 1 achievement, and then shut it off, went back.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna finish Like a Dragon Gaiden at some point here.
You can probably do that pretty quickly.
I'm probably gonna do it before next week.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Yeah. But it's a super fun game. It looks great, and some of the bits are pretty fun. Like in the Coliseum, I am wearing the hockey mask.
Oh yeah,
as one of my outfits. My Coliseum outfit is a purple dress shirt and the hockey mask with some like leather gloves. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I like that.
Are you pretending it's that Friday the 13th game?
That's exactly what I'm pretending. It's the NES Friday the 13th color palette. Yes. But that's really all I've been playing. I played a little bit of Super Mario Land.
Yeah.
And it's great, of course.
Of course.
I'll play more of it, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm still on the Like a Dragon train.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move along to Greg.
I'm playing more Logiart Grimoire. Not really much else to say about it though, just that I'm still playing it. I didn't have a lot of time to play a lot this week because of everything that was going on. But I did start up, and I didn't get nearly as far as I'd like to. Somebody was very kind and bought me a copy of Crow Country on the PlayStation 5. And so this is I guess really what they're calling it is like a PlayStation style survival horror game.
Okay.
Crow Country is an amusement park. I think it's an abandoned amusement park. That, I mean, it's spooky, and that's why you're going in. I think you're playing as a some kind of police officer or investigator or something like that. And it's all in 3D, but it's all sort of really simple 3D. I think it's weird to call it like PlayStation style because it doesn't look like a PlayStation game. It does look like a sort of a first gen 3D game, but much more refined than anything we saw back then. And the backgrounds are fully 3D. They're not pre-rendered or anything, so you can actually rotate the camera, which is nice because it's hard to find stuff every now and then.
Don't you wish we were able to do that back in the day?
Yeah.
While playing this.
Well,
like,
it's interesting because I've actually been sort of side note here. Bill over at A Gamer Looks at 40 is going through his Final Fantasy series. And I just actually recorded an interview with him for Final Fantasy VI this past week. And then he was saying, like, I'll be back in a while to talk about Final Fantasy VII. So I thought, well, maybe I should play this a little bit. So I did download the, I think it was like the PS4 re-release that came out for Final Fantasy VII. And I'd forgotten that one of the options in that game was to turn on little red arrows over all the places that you could actually exit an area.
Yeah,
Which,
that's a nice.
Boy, howdy, did that come in handy.
That's very nice QOL. Yeah.
Yeah. With all those pre-rendered backgrounds. But anyway, yeah, Crow Country. I haven't gotten that far into it yet. I mean, it's definitely inspired by Resident Evil, and maybe some Silent Hill, but it's got a really cool look, actually. Like I said, I don't think calling it a PS1 like is doing it justice. I think it's just got kind of its own pretty unique, pretty interesting look. I don't know what's going on yet. I've shot a few zombified people at this point. And I'd say from what I've played, the only thing that I'm not super crazy about right now is the aiming controls, because now there's two different options, and the one that I have is, I guess, what you call the modern option, where it's like to pull your gun, you hold down L2, which is kind of the thing, right? And then to pull the trigger, you click R2, which makes sense to me. But when you go to aim, it after you find a laser sight, you don't have one to begin with. Your character stands still, and then you've got control over their aiming, like both vertically and horizontally, with the left stick, and it's really jarring. Like, I haven't gotten used to it yet. It doesn't control the way I expect it to. Like, I kind of was thinking more of along the lines of like Resident Evil, where, you know, you get into a stance, and then if you pulled up or down, you would just sort of aim up or down, but still in the direction you were facing when you pulled your weapon, and that you could rotate. It just doesn't, I don't know. There's something about it that isn't clicking with me right now. But I mean, I'm liking everything else about it. And if you don't want to do the survival horror style game, there is a story mode in it as well, where I think you just go and do the puzzles and sort of enjoy the atmosphere, and you don't have to worry about, I'm guessing you don't have to worry about shooting and enemies and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
it's nice.
Yeah.
You know, this is from the developer of Snipper Clips, right?
I think I did know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Snippy clippy.
But it's supposed to be about 5 hours long.
Snippy clippy.
About 5 hours long. So I'm looking forward to playing more of it.
It looks cool. It looks super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the look of it a lot.
It's supposed to evoke that era of
PS1.
Yeah.
Late 90s survival horror.
Yeah.
But I'm digging it so far.
Cool.
So that was really about it. I mean, you know, I played some Alleyway, played some Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
That was really it. That's all I got.
All right, then. Phil.
Yes.
What have you been playing?
Well, let's go back and talk about Ichiban some more.
Yes.
Because I've been infinite wealthing my way through Hawaii.
Now let me ask you this. Are you to the point, have you unlocked Dondoko Island Yes.
Hold on a second. I think that's supposed to be the Mario Land music.
I don't have my Switch out here.
Oh, well, that's what you should have.
You can stop that now. It really messes with the audio.
It's almost like that's the point.
Oh,
all right.
Just I haven't gotten keep going.
I haven't gotten Dundoko Island open yet.
Oh, that's a shame.
No,
I am looking forward to playing with that.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there. I am, I'm just kind of wandering around Honolulu now, and I've gotten to the point where I'm supposed to be infiltrating a kind of an enemy gang stronghold. We're going to be sneaking our way in to rescue someone. And before I go about doing that, I've kind of found myself getting distracted, and I'm just sort of wandering around town into new parts of the map just to see as many side story type things as I can, just because I'm enjoying that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So, nice. I'm just wandering around town. I found a kid with a lemonade stand who needs my help promoting his product to get people to come purchase his lemonade. I've found there's a mall that you go into. So I was hanging out in the mall. They got roped into. Huh?
They have a GameStop.
I did not find a GameStop. Trust me, I was looking around for GameStop. I was looking around for a Hot Topic. Yeah. I thought maybe I could get some Nightmare Before Christmas shirts.
Go get your ears pierced to Claire's Boutique.
Exactly. Nothing. But yeah, I ended up taking part in a televised game show that was being held inside the mall.
Nice. Now, do you have Japanese language on, or do you have English?
I do have Japanese language on. Okay. Just because, in the game's canon, Ichiban does not speak English.
Right.
He doesn't know English. So I have that on.
I would imagine it would be a little bit breaking if how would they handle that if someone is speaking a language that Ichiban does not speak?
you played it the very beginning part of this game
in English,
and it does so have you been playing these games in English or in Japanese?
Yeah, I've been playing in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I play all the Yakuza games.
They're very good.
Subtitled. And I'm sure the dubs are good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they are. I've listened to them on YouTube. But that series is so kind of entrenched in Japan that it feels better to me to have it subtitled. And by this point, hearing anyone else's voice come out of Kiryu or Ichiban just seems weird. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
But that game starts off with a cutscene that takes place. I believe it's if I remember correctly, it's in the U.S., right?
Yeah, with the driver. Yeah.
Yes, and they're speaking English.
Yep.
And even if you have the audio set to Japanese,
they're speaking English.
And there are parts where you will encounter English speakers, but the way it is now is that a whole lot of people in Honolulu know how to speak Japanese.
Sure.
Which,
well, I mean, it's much closer to Japan than
I've not been to Honolulu.
I've been to Hawaii. There's quite a there is a Japanese language contingent.
In
stores and such.
Yeah. So maybe that's accurate. I do not know.
Yeah.
But yes. A lot of people speaking Japanese over there. which is fine. You know what? Whether it's accurate or whether I'm suspending my disbelief.
Now, do you remember the old 80s and 90s anime series where eventually they would do a special or an episode where they went on holiday to Hawaii,
Of
generally.
course.
And the English was always, ooh, not great.
Yes. One of my favorite old Urusei Yatsura episodes involved them going to Hawaii
Yeah.
and Ataru hitting on some American woman on the beach.
Yeah.
And he's speaking in very broken English, and she responds to him
in very broken,
in equally broken English,
in equally or maybe more broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But you haven't run into anything like that yet.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
No.
I hope. I mean, there is an English dub that
there is. Yes, there is.
I actually wonder if there's any crossover there. Did they use the English dub actors for the parts where it's supposed to be in English?
I don't know.
Or did they do something different?
Maybe they did.
Yeah.
Who can say? Who could possibly know?
We don't have the information. Where there's no place we can find it.
No. It is unknowable at this point.
Yeah.
History has moved on. We don't have
the technology.
Yeah.
ChatGPT cannot help us. God.
I am having a very good time with this very bizarre game.
Yeah.
And yeah, at some point I need to just kind of get back on course and continue the story mode. But for the time being, I'm having a good time just kind of wandering around
that's
Hawaii.
Part of fun. Yeah.
You know what I noticed? My family and I, we went to Hawaii last summer for a vacation, and we were not in Honolulu. We were on the Big Island. We were just at a resort on the Big Island. But yeah, the resort that we were at, just down the road from it, there was a little shopping center, and in the shopping center was a marketplace, and it was just kind of an all-purpose, like it was a part grocery store, part deli, part souvenir store, and we ended up going there a lot just for food and things like that. And playing Infinite Wealth, they have a chain of convenience stores that's called ABC Stores, which is a real chain.
Yes.
I did not realize this when I first started playing it, but ABC Store is a real chain of convenience stores in Hawaii. But when I went into the ABC store in the game, I was like, oh, wow, this is the vibe of this store. It feels like that marketplace we were in. To the point where I was playing the game with Dana was sitting there watching me, and I walk into the store, and we both kind of at the same time kind of realized, boy, the store kind of, it feels like just like the decor. I mean, it's much smaller certainly, but kind of the layout and the decor and kind of just the vibe of the store really feels like that little marketplace. And so I went and looked up the name of that marketplace, and it turns out that it's owned by ABC Store.
There you go.
So I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Out.
Yeah. So that was kind of rad. And I'm the game takes place in Honolulu for the most part.
Yes.
And I am going to be I'm going to be going to Honolulu later this summer for a work event.
Okay. So
I'm looking forward to seeing how real Honolulu feels compared to does the game do an accurate job of kind of matching the vibe.
I've always kind of wondered if I went to Yokohama or Osaka, would it feel the same? Would the streets feel, would I be able to know my way around some of those places based on
one of my manager at work has been to Yokohama and he is also a big fan of the Yakuza games, and he was saying that it's kind of dead on.
That's amazing.
Like the bar district where the Survive bar is.
Uh-huh.
He was like, he's told me, like, I've been on that actual street that
Amazing.
that area is based on, and it really does feel like the same.
Amazing.
And I do know that in the game there's a big mall, the mall I mentioned going into. There is a big mall in Honolulu, and I was like, I'm assuming it is, but it's got to be based on the real life mall. And so I went onto Google Maps and was, street view looking around the mall, and of course they have like little areas where you can see pictures that people have taken inside the mall. And yeah, it's very clearly just that mall. So I'm looking forward to going there and just kind of hanging out in the mall where Ichiban beats up a bunch of dudes. So the game may be giving me a false picture of how many street fights you get into.
I don't know.
When
We'll
you're
wait for you to report back to us on that.
I'm just gonna swagger up to random people in the mall and just see if I can start a fight.
Yeah.
We'll see how well it goes.
You should do some cosplay. Do your Ichiban cosplay.
I may have ordered some jorts.
Nice.
Don't think I hadn't thought of that. So if I'm going to be walking around in Honolulu, I'm going to be walking around Honolulu properly dressed. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, having a great time with that game. And I'm sure I will be for another 100+ hours.
Yeah.
Even if I've not made much story progress, I am still having a lot of fun. And yeah, like I said, I don't want to go too deep into other stuff that I've encountered, because there's some fun surprises for you having just played the first game. So I look forward to you diving further into it.
Me too. I cannot wait.
Yes. Why, you clearly couldn't wait.
True.
My goodness.
But I went back.
No, that's good. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I haven't played too much else this week. Like you guys, I played a little Mario Land, because Mario Land's so much fun. It's such a weird little game, and it was so perfect for the launch of the Game Boy.
Yeah.
It was so well designed to kind of show off what that hardware was capable of, while working within the limits of that hardware.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of which it has plenty.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's such a weird, fun little game, and boy, oh boy, that soundtrack.
It's amazing.
Still one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
anyway, that's it. That's what I've
Alrighty.
been playing.
Alrighty.
How about you, CJ? What have you been playing this week?
We already talked about what I've been playing.
Yeah, but let's go back around. Let's
Let's go back around.
yeah, let's
Just
do it
talk
again. Let's
more
see
about
how
Like a Dragon.
maybe our tastes have changed.
I
Maybe
did go
our
to the
opinions.
Club Sega arcade.
What's that?
I mean, how could you not go to the Sega
Isn't that the whole
arcade
point of playing the game?
Oh,
in Like a
absolutely.
Dragon Gaiden?
Yes.
I played the UFO catchers.
Oh, yes.
I didn't try any of the games, but I played the UFO catchers because there are a couple Akame Network quests.
That is true.
to do the UFO catcher. So I
Yes,
did that.
indeed.
Yeah.
Someone wants a specific prize.
Yeah.
I had
And
a similar quest in Like a Dragon, or in Infinite Wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, where someone wanted a specific prize. One of the fun things I like about Infinite Wealth, I don't think I've mentioned this. Maybe I have. But once you get to Hawaii, you are introduced to a social network app. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Okay. So I mean, minor feature spoiler, but it's nothing too crazy. But you are introduced to this social media thing, and you can access it on your in-game smartphone.
Nice.
And it basically is a way to just sort of connect with people in the community. So you'll be walking around town, and just when you're out walking, if you hit one of the buttons, Ichiban will just kind of say hello to people. He'll just kind of wave. He'll throw up the little hang loose shaka thing there, and he'll say hi or aloha, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if there are people nearby, they'll all stop and say hi back to you. And it's just just a cute little friendly feature, just to make you feel like you're bonding with people more. But there are some people who, as you're walking by, they'll have a little kind of smiley face over their head, and that means that they are also using this social media app. So if you see someone with a little smiley face, you go up and you give them an aloha. And
I see the future of AR glasses here.
Oh, absolutely. And then your little friendship meter goes up with them because you've become friends with them on the app. And so if you see them around town again, you can say hi to them. Sometimes you'll see people who are in trouble. Perhaps they're getting accosted by some bullies, and you can go rescue them, and they will befriend you on the app as thanks. It's just a cute little feature. Getting just kind of plays into Ichiban's sort of dorky friendliness that makes him so darn endearing.
It's true.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's such a good game.
Yes. Anyway, that's it.
Alrighty. Well,
Greg's so bored.
I finished Facebook. What are we doing?
You finished it?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that was possible.
You read the whole
Neither
thing?
did I until you guys started talking about Like a Dragon.
You liked all the things you could like?
Yeah.
Wow.
You sorted through, you clicked on all the ads?
All of them.
That seems unlikely.
Oh, man.
Believe what you want, little man.
Okay. Expert level ad clickage.
I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Tweedly deedly dee. Oh, tweedly deedly dee. Tweet.
You know, I guess they officially retired the Twitter
Whatever.
Yes, they did.
Domain. So
whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias 32-bit Library, who says, "Do y'all have any favorite retro gaming books you've read?"
Oh man.
Yep. Next question.
Hang on a sec, because I actually have a list of some of them on my phone here. Just give me a minute.
Oh, really?
I really liked Game Over back in the day.
Game Over was great.
It's a great book.
The Phoenix books are
from Leonard Herman.
Yeah, because he keeps re-releasing. He keeps updating them and re-releasing them.
Yep.
Where the heck? There it is. Book Buddy.
Book Buddy.
Beyond Donkey Kong, which is by Ken Horowitz.
Oh.
It's excellent. It's about it's the history of Nintendo arcade games.
Oh,
which you don't get a lot of. Another one is Legends of 60-bit Game Development by John Harrison, which is the story of Treasure.
Oh,
which is fantastic.
Like there a series of those books?
No, not yet. But
I'm thinking of Legends of Localization.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Hurricane by what's his name? Matt Leone, which is the history of the Street Fighter series.
Great.
Once Upon Atari by Howard Scott Warshaw is fantastic.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He did a video series.
He did, and
called that as well.
This is nothing like that. The video series is a series of interviews with people who worked at Atari. There's a little bit of that here, but the book is way more about Howard himself.
Right.
his
Right.
journey, how he started out, his journey through developing Yar's Revenge and ET and the other games that he worked on, and also sort of what happened to him after he left games.
Mhm.
Right.
I won't do a ton more here, but just call it a couple more. Blood, Sweat, and Pixels is really good. Masters of Doom is excellent. I already said, Playing at the Next Level is another Ken Horowitz joint. It's all about the history of American Sega games.
Mm.
That's it. That's where I'll stop for now. But yes, I love reading. Oh, one more by Ken, actually, because Ken is an awesome guy and a great writer, great researcher. The Sega Arcade Revolution, the history of Sega games, Sega arcade games. So anyway, yeah, there you go. Go read some of those.
Yeah.
And then when you've read all those, come back and I'll have more.
Jeremy Parrish, of course, has his whole works series of books as well.
Series of books, yeah.
NES works and Super NES works.
And I would say, and I haven't bought this yet, but there's a guy that does a web series called Atari Archive. His name is Kevin Bunch, and I believe his book is just called Atari Archive as well. I have not read it yet because I just haven't gotten around to buying it. But if his videos are anything to go off of, the book is probably incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, Atari Archive, the book. So I would recommend that as well. Also, another super nice guy, very helpful guy too.
Yeah. And Bitmap Books.
Yep.
They've done a lot of really
great stuff.
Really good stuff about, just kind of big compendiums of.
I've contributed to a couple of those.
I did as well, actually. Yeah. But despite that, they're still pretty good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Good quality control.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to just look up Bitmap Books web, I think it's just bitmapbooks.com is their website, and they have a whole library of books there to check out. I mean, not literally like a library, they're there to purchase. You buy them. Yeah. But they're really, really nice books.
Good question, CJ.
Yeah. Oh,
well,
I'm seeing in the.
I just recently got the first volume of that World of Nintendo.
Oh yeah, I got that as well.
Visual history of Nintendo. So
from Kickstarter, yeah.
From Kickstarter, yeah. I kickstarted the second book and got the first book shipped out to me. So
the boss fight book series is also quite good.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They're just little digest-sized books. They're usually really personal stories. Which, if you're looking for more of a researched historical archive of books, I'm not sure that those would necessarily fit the bill. Although some of them do lean that way. I'm led to believe the NBA Jam one is like that, but they're usually much more personal stories about the first time somebody played something or what it meant to them and that sort of thing, or sort of looking at the evolution of things. And I've read probably about 7 or 8 of them now, and usually I end up really enjoying them. And actually, the thing I find about those books is that I like them enough that I've even bought books based on games I'm either not interested in or never even heard of, and found it very compelling. Like there's one book about a game called ZZT, which I didn't even know existed, and I couldn't tell you what it's about, to be honest. But the book was really a really compelling read.
Wow.
So yeah, also great. And I think those are all available digitally if you don't want to get the physical versions. But I recommend those as well.
I'm seeing in the chat, Hacker Alias Storytown recommends From Pinball to Pixels, the history of Williams and
that's cool.
Bally and Midway.
Awesome.
Which I have not read, but I do like pinball, so I should probably.
Yeah, and that's another Ken. That's Ken Horowitz's latest book.
Oh, okay.
And I can recommend anything he writes. His research is impeccable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I should check this out.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias, Andrew Webb, who says, do your kids play live service games, no games or games that you can complete and move into the next game or a mix of all. Just wondering if the next generation of gamers will be content enough to play games on their touch screens. We sort of talked about this a little bit last week, right?
I think most
Where
of them
like
will.
people are kids now are growing up not gaming on consoles
Yeah.
and potentially going right to PC or spending a lot of time in live service games or games like Minecraft and Roblox and Fortnite where you don't have to leave that game to experience other things.
Yeah.
And I think as parents, one of the easiest traps to fall into is wanting your kids to have a similar experience with video games that you had,
Yep.
Yeah.
because it's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, my three kids all are pretty different. My youngest is very much into Animal Crossing,
Mhm.
but only every now and then.
Okay.
Animal Crossing and Forza Horizon.
Oh.
What a mix.
I don't know how or why the Forza Horizon thing happened, but when she plays that, she literally is just wants to drive. She's just going for a drive. She doesn't do any of the
Oh, yeah.
events.
That's fun though.
And with Animal Crossing, she picks it up like every month or two and looks at it, right? My oldest will move from game to game. She doesn't tend to finish them, but she likes games that are much longer. She really got into the last two Pokemon games,
Good.
but she never finished them. And
As long as she
then
bought them.
her latest thing is that she's really into Hogwarts Legacy. But again, I doubt she'll
Okay.
ever finish it.
Yeah.
But I think she really likes to. She likes the open world games. She likes games that she can create her own characters and things like that.
Mhm.
My son was into way more traditional stuff until very recently, where he actually announced to me that he's less interested in things like Call of Duty, which he was really into for a while, and he is all about phone games like Brawl Stars and stuff like that. So they're all over the map.
Yeah. Yeah. Finn, he will occasionally, like he was more into console games when he was a little younger. He's 12 now. He's whenever there's a new Pokemon game, he'll get into that. He was super into Animal Crossing for a good long while when that first came out on Switch. He was really into like Mario Odyssey, really into this kind of took me by surprise. He really got into the Link's Awakening remake that came out, like to the point where he played through it multiple times. Like he would play it, he finished it, and then he just start a new save file and play through it again. And he did that with the Paper Mario, the Origami King as well. But never got into like Breath of the Wild. Never got into like the 3D Zeldas, but was super into the 2D Zelda for a while there. But yeah, as time has progressed, he's definitely drifted away from console and is spending the bulk of his time on PC, primarily with Roblox. He'll occasionally play some Fortnite. He will occasionally play. There's a few other, like, what was it, like little Nightmares? Is that the game, that Namco game?
Yep.
Like he got into those on Steam. But yeah, Roblox is still the big one for him and his friends.
Yeah.
They will just about every night just get in they'll call each other, like they'll FaceTime each other and just sit and bounce from Roblox game to Roblox game, just goofing off and stuff.
I find that's a big thing, especially with my son, is that the game is way less important than the people he's chatting with.
Exactly, right?
The games are more like a chat room.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we don't let Charlotte chat with people she doesn't know anyway.
Oh no, my kids are only allowed to chat with people they know.
Yeah. Well,
and more importantly, people that I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I was saying. I mean, it's him. He'll have his iPad or his phone out, and he's like literally just FaceTiming with his buddies. You know, so he's not even using like the games.
It's just a shared experience while they're chatting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my daughter plays Roblox still. Every now and again, but she bounces from Roblox to Minecraft to occasionally Animal Crossing. She really enjoyed Dragon Quest Builders, both 1 and 2,
right.
and will occasionally replay those as well. Those are games that she's finished and will replay. And she really wants a third one of those. I don't think they're going to make one. But then she'll play like Little Kitty Big City. She really likes that. Untitled Goose Game is one of her favorites. I think she's played that multiple times and played it in co-op as well. She really likes narrative mysteries, like anything that's a mystery or like a detective game. So when we went to the Grand Canyon, I got her the game Overboard, which is actually a game where it's a narrative based game where you commit a murder and then you have to, it's on a cruise ship, set on a cruise ship. You commit a murder and you have to get away with it. And
are you Kurt Russell trying to convince Goldie Hawn that
no,
you're married to her?
No, you have to get off the cruise ship without raising suspicion that you did it. And she really enjoyed that. Played it through it multiple times. It's made to be played through multiple times and see what you can get away with. And she really enjoyed that too. Yeah, so she plays a lot of different things. But she doesn't follow video game news. Like if a new game comes out,
right,
I'm usually the one that says, "Hey, check this out," or something. Like left to her own devices, she would play Roblox or Minecraft and never look at another thing. So, or she and her friends also like have found these games on Steam. They're like MMOs, but you can be like any animal you want to be. So it doesn't even matter, I think, the quality of the game, more that you get to live out whatever like thing you want to be. Like you want to be a wolf pack, or you want to be like a flock of birds or something.
If kids were that concerned about the quality of video games, they wouldn't be playing Roblox.
That is true. That is exactly what it is.
Don't tell the kids I said that, but it's true.
It is true. It is absolutely true. Yeah. But yeah, every now and again I'll bring her a game that she really likes, like Overboard or Little Kitty Big City. So
that goes back to what I was saying though. You can want your kid to have the same type of experience you had when you were a kid, but you shouldn't expect it and you shouldn't push it.
No, I tend to find games that I think Charlotte will enjoy and that are like similar enough to the games she's already playing or has played.
That's why I always laugh when I read. I don't see it very often anymore, but I always used to see people say like, I'm going to pick out a collection of games that they should experience. And I'm like, they're going to hate video games.
Exactly.
My kid can't play Fortnite until they play enough Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah. There's Corey over at My Life in Gaming. He tells a story. He has told a story on their he has a podcast with Chris at Classic Gaming Quarterly, and every now and then he talks about this because I guess he has 2 kids, and they had, I don't know what, one of those little handheld devices that there's so many of them now that just like emulate a bunch of different systems and stuff like that. And I guess they were trying out Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
And I think the story is that he told them that if either of them could finish the game or would finish the game, he'd give them $100.
Yeah.
I think that was a couple of years ago. And they're just not that interested, it seems. Like, even with the money involved. So.
But even that, like, we don't experience media the same as
that's
we can't expect our kids to experience any form of media the same way that we did, just like TV or movies or music or any of that. Why would we expect that from games?
I actively play old games in front of my kids, and sometimes they'll sit and watch.
Yeah.
Oh
so
yeah,
they experience
the same
that way. But
yeah,
even then they don't show any interest in trying to play them.
Right.
Well, it's like when I tried to get Finn to watch Star Wars,
Right.
and he just could not care less about it. And at first I was like, oh man, come on.
But it's
That's the
Star
same.
Wars.
But then like right afterwards, I was like, oh, this is like when my dad tried to get me to watch Davy Crockett with him when I was Finn's age.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about your desire to share that experience with them than the other way around.
Yeah.
But sometimes it works. I mean,
Yeah, sometimes.
My oldest has actually came to me last year and said, like, can you make a list of like the old action movies and stuff that you like from the 80s and 90s? I want to sit and watch them with you. And we haven't watched a ton, but every now and then, like if we have a night, especially if it's just the two of us at home, she'll say like, I'll just say like, what do you want to do tonight? And she says, break out the list. Let's watch a new movie.
Yeah.
A new old movie. And it's like awesome. But again, you have to let them come to that on their own.
Yeah.
Not, I don't make the suggestion. She makes the suggestion.
Right.
My daughter cannot wait to watch Die Hard every Christmas.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's good stuff. All right. I think that's it.
Okay.
Oh,
Sibilance.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on any social media network that we're on, which is most of them, I think, but especially X and Threads. And hey, if you'd prefer to use the old .com style of web communication, you can find our site at playeronepodcast.com, and there you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward. You'll find Generation 16 episodes as they happen, and you will find show notes and links to all the things we talked about, along with a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so. You can do that by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitch televisions, all over the darn place. Just follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday evenings at 5:30, a specific time. So join us, won't you? And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. I don't know. I don't have anything cute about us using your money for ill intent. But I'll tell you what we do.
Do.
Do-do. With your money. And that is, of course, to keep our podcast running every week. He keeps it streaming and all that stuff that CJ has to deal with, so we don't.
Mm-hmm.
We love it. We appreciate it. Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, friend O's, we don't just take without giving something in return. If you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this, where we play games, crack-wise, having fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ.
Yeah.
I'm going to pretend like I don't know the answer to this. Did we have a game this week?
Well, it's not exactly a game.
Oh, well, then I'm not exactly interested.
It's serious business.
Oh, well, I do love serious business. So
I'm serious business.
No, we are going to do a tier list of
there will definitely be tiers.
Yes.
Nintendo consoles. So we're going to rank the Nintendo platforms.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Could be interesting.
Yeah,
we'll
probably
see what happens.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens when we rank the Nintendo platforms. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, join us for that, friends.
Yes.
We'll see how this goes. Well, I'll tell you what. If you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you go to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
Also, cheap.
good evening, Satan.
Hey, what's up, Greg?
Did you grab the twitter.com URL now that Elon's not using it?
It's all mine, baby.
Yeah, squatting.
Send me your devil tweets.
E-squatting.
I do all sorts of squatting.
Wasn't that the name of a Sega game?
Squat.
Squat.
Covered on Generation 16. You get access to the Weekly Commute, which is a vlog series that I do every week, talking about what I'm working on, other things going on in my life. Got to talk about Cameron a little bit this week, actually. So you get access to that as well. You get a early access to all the videos. One whole week.
What a deal.
Right?
I think so.
$5 a month. And I'm releasing a video every month now. So
Incredible.
makes me feel better about taking your money. So please consider giving me more at my Patreon.
Absolutely. Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
All right.
In it.
Goodbye.
In it.
Wait, what?
Bye-bye.
No, I'll say thank you.
Aw.
I'm polite. CJ,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
You got it, dude. Gregory.
Hey, yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
And thank you. Yeah, you are wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single darn one of you. As always, take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do to be safe. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself, my dear friends. And I hope, just as we all do, to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.